Hare Krishna, everyone.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna.
Okay, so we're here in sunny California, although the sun is going down at the moment. It's a beautiful sunset on that side, if you could see it, but you can't. We're here with some amazing friends who have hosted us here, looked after us, fed us. We just had the most amazing, amazing dinner. Pizza on a grill. Never heard it. Is the best thing ever. It's a California thing, I guess. and we had this berry cobbler with ice cream and whipped cream, which was to die for. So it was so really they're just so wonderful. My dear friend from London, Anantadeva Prabhu, and he's now a full-blown California boy, and his wonderful wife. Lalita Kishori, who's also kind of just an amazing personality that we're getting to know here, and just really so happy. And we wanted to do a reading together to introduce all of you to them and share with you our time. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So we're just reading the Bhagavatam. Would you like to introduce where we're at?
Canto 3, Chapter 28, Text 27.
And so we're still reading the instructions of Kapila Dev to Mother Devahuti. So we can start with the invocation. We can all say it together. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Now today, would you like to start? And then
This one?
Yeah.
The yogi should further meditate upon the Lord's four arms, which are the source of all the powers of the demigods who control the various functions of material nature. Then the yogi should concentrate on the polished ornaments, which were burnished by Mount Mandara as it revolved. He should also duly contemplate the Lord's discus, the Sudarshan Chakra, which contains 1,000 spokes and a dazzling luster, as well as the conch, which looks like a swan in his lotus-like palm.
Amazing description, huh?
Purport. All departments of law and order emanate from the arms of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The law and order of the universe is directed by different demigods, and it is here said to emanate from the Lord's arms. Mandara Hill is mentioned here because when the ocean was churned by the demons on one side and the demigods on the other, Mandara Hill was taken as the churning rod. The Lord in his tortoise incarnation became the pivot for the churning rod, and thus his ornaments were polished by the churning of Mandara Hill. In other words, the ornaments on the arms of the Lord are as brilliant and lustrous as if they had been polished very recently. The wheel in the hand of the Lord, called the Sudarshan Chakra, has 1,000 spokes. The yogi is advised to meditate upon each of the spokes. He should meditate upon each and every one of the component parts of the transcendental form of the Lord.
Wow, amazing. Any thoughts? Anything stood out to anyone?
Well, throughout this we're hearing about meditating on the Lord. This active component of Krishna consciousness is that you have to start to contemplate these things. Because we can go through the process, but if there's not, the memorization is meant to lead to contemplation, which then leads to realization. So what we see here is this constantly meditate upon this, meditate upon this, meditate upon this. So the Lord becomes fixed in your consciousness as the thing that you're thinking about. Krishna consciousness, you become conscious of Krishna in this way.
Yeah, actually I think in the previous purport Srila Prabhupada said that amongst the yogis the primary limb is smaranam, remembrance, and so therefore there's a lot of focus in meditation, whereas for us primarily we focus on shravanam and kirtanam. But yeah, this is nice, very nice, thank you. The armlets and polished by Mandara Mountain. Is it that it's saying that the armlets have been polished, or it's assimilating them to the fact that the shell of Kurma was polished by Mandara. So it's like that, as if they've been polished, because it sounded like in the verse it says that they are jewels that have been polished from the churning of Mandara mountain. But then in the purport it sounds like Srila Prabhupada kind of makes it sound like it's as if they've been polished. Does that make sense? Did I hear it correctly?
Yeah, sort of. This is both.
It's both, huh?
It says the Lord in his choicest incarnation became the pivot for the churning rod, and thus his ornaments were polished by the turning of the Mandara hill. In other words, the ornaments of the arms of the Lord are as brilliant and lustrous as if they had been polished very recently.
Very recently.
Well, that's we also know, Krishna's nothing becomes old with Krishna.
No, yeah.
So that polishing remains ever fresh. Krishna's ever fresh. Everything with him is ever fresh. But it needs to be polished in the first place. That's the real question, right?
Well, yeah. Does anything to do with the Lord need to be clean? No. The 1,000 spokes. Meditating on each one of them,
Yeah. It's tough being a yogi.
Yeah.
Yeah. Krishna.
Yeah, here's to talk about the four-armed form. So, that's the yogis meditate on super soul, the Paramatma. But for us as Gaudiya Vaishnavas, we meditate on the sweet form of Krishna. So
Shama Sundar.
Shama Sundar, it becomes a lot easier because there's not 1,000 spokes necessarily. But there's a sweet smile and all these things.
Yeah. Of course, Krishna carries the chakra also.
Vrindavan, he carries a small rod to herd the cows.
That's right, yeah.
So the object of meditation is somewhat different. But still, meditation is the central point, I think, that's being pointed out here.
And we have the opportunity by going to the temple to see the transcendental form in front of our eyes, right?
Yeah.
So I prefer bhakti over.
I mean, you don't want to fast for a few days and sit in a ring of fire in the summer. And
Meditate on 1,000 spokes.
also, we were talking earlier about, you were sharing in some of your previous readings how, not that the ornaments beautify Krishna, but Krishna beautifies the ornaments. That Krishna himself is just supremely beautiful.
Yeah, when usually people, like ladies especially, I guess, who put on jewelry to make themselves look more attractive. But I remember hearing once that I think it was in a discussion on the translation of Damodarastakam, Krishna's shark-shaped earrings. And they say that it's like, Krishna has all these earrings, and when Mother Yashoda, because everything has consciousness in the spiritual world, the earrings are like, no, pick me, pick me, pick me. And they're like, they all want to be on Krishna's ears, because they become more beautiful when worn by Krishna.
Yeah, so we can think like that. If we place ourselves at Krishna's feet, we all become beautiful too,
Oh,
He'll
nice.
beautify us too. So we're kind of ugly in this world, at least I can speak for myself. But we come close to Krishna, then his beauty reflects back onto us because he gets firmly fixed in our hearts.
Nice.
So these meditations are supposed to, who says it? You use your head to open your heart.
Use your head to
That's
open
nice.
your heart. There you go. Use your head to open your heart.
That's a nice sign off.
Yeah.
A nice what?
Yeah, a sign off, like,
We were just warming up.
I just meant like.
Litamaji's ready for it.
No.
The sun is going down,
I'm
and
just
although
saying,
there are
like-
no mosquitoes here in California, I'm getting bitten.
Oh, I bet you.
Here's something.
There are some mosquitoes.
Should we read one more?
Well, just one other point. So here
Okay.
we talked to, this is about the rupa. Right, the
Rupa,
form.
okay.
Meditate
Yeah, yeah.
on the form of Krishna. And so we know Krishna has 4 qualities that no other avatar has.
Yes.
Vivena Madhurya, Rupa Madhurya, Lila Madhurya, and then Prema Madhurya. And so the sweetness of it, and they say this is a sequence actually, because it's how the gopis hear it. They hear his flute first.
Yeah.
And they go, okay, we got to go find out where that's coming from. And they go and they see his form from a distance. So Rupa Madhurya now.
Yeah.
And then they enter into the sweetness of the Lila. And from that Lila, then the Prema comes. So this meditation is a very important thing. So we have to know what does Krishna look like? What color is his dress? What are the markings on his feet? What is his ornaments? Because then you start to meditate on that. This contemplation that's being spoken of, and then it becomes realized. So
Yeah.
You want prem, you got to start here.
Now that sounds like a movie. Right here is where you start paying. This is great. Nectar. I'm thinking maybe we should finish though, because it looks like it's getting dark as the sun has...
Yeah, I've disappeared.
Where is she? Where is that woman? Where is she going? Oh, wow, that was amazing.
That was the sun.
That is... Wow, if you were here, that was just so mystical. Only in America.
As brilliant as the sun.
That was Krishna. He said, never stop talking about me.
Right?
Never stop. What's that verse in the Chaturshloki with the Gita? Satatam kirtayanto mam.
Yes.
Always chanting my glories.
Oh, amazing. Well, I think that is definitely a sign to just read one more. As long as the mosquitoes don't come back.
They might.
Y'all come back now, you hear?
Text 28.
So this is 3:28:28.
Yeah. The yogi should meditate upon his club, which is named Kumadaki, and is very dear to him. This club smashes the demons who are always inimical soldiers and is smeared with their blood. One should also concentrate on the nice garland on the neck of the Lord, which is always surrounded by bumblebees with their nice buzzing sound. And one should meditate upon the pearl necklace on the Lord's neck, which is considered to represent the pure living entities who are always engaged in his service.
Maybe just from that, what do we get just from that verse? Anyone remember anything?
Quite the juxtaposition. Think about the club with blood.
Yeah.
And then the beautiful garland around his neck as well, you know?
These all things.
And the beautiful pearl necklace that represents...
Living entities.
Yeah. Was it living entity? Yeah, living entities.
True living entities.
Who
Yes.
are always engaged in his service, yeah.
Yeah.
I guess that everyone follows his path in all respects. Yeah, it is quite... It was getting pretty gory there. What was he using the club to do what with?
Smash the demons.
Yeah, who are always inimical soldiers.
And is smeared with their blood. The fiercest.
He can be sweeter
the
than the sweet and
sweetest.
fiercer than the fierce.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or what is it? Hard, soft like a rose and hard like a thunderbolt.
It's interesting though, like, so you're told to concentrate on the nice garland on the neck, and we're describing, but even for, like we were saying, like deity worship, you know, I could be in the temple and dressing the deities, and then sometimes you can't even remember beyond, okay, if I dress them, yeah, I could tell you just details because I picked that. I didn't make the garland, but I put it on, I put the jewelry on the outfit. Other days I could take darshan and someone says, oh, what was Radha and Danisha wearing? Like, you can even think like that. Did you see the way so-and-so did Radha's braid? Not really, but I thought you took darshan. So it's really important to be deliberately conscious. Not just, I went to the temple to take darshan, but what did you see?
Meditate, true meditation.
Yeah.
Just take darshan. Take darshan. Really soak it up. So
That's the most point, to be deliberately conscious. To be deliberately conscious. Yeah, we can go through life and just be unconscious. We can go through Krishna consciousness and be unconscious too.
Yeah.
To be deliberately conscious.
Krishna unconscious. Krishna unconsciousness movement. Okay, want to read?
You know.
The yogi must contemplate the different parts of the transcendental body of the Lord. Here it is stated that the constitutional position of the living entities should be understood. There are two kinds of living entities mentioned here. One is called the arati. They are averse to understanding the pastimes of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. For them, the Lord appears with his hand clutching the terrible mace, which is always smeared with bloodstains from his killing of demons. Demons are also sons of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. There you go. As stated in the Bhagavad Gita, All the different species of living entities are sons of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. There are, however, two classes of living entities who act in two different ways. The Supreme Lord keeps on his neck those living entities who are pure, as one protects the jewels and pearls on the bosom and the neck of one's body. Those living entities in pure Krishna consciousness are symbolized by the pearls on his neck. Those who are demons and are inimical towards the pastimes of the Supreme Personality of Godhead are punished by his mace, which is always smeared with the blood of such fallen living entities. The club of the Lord is very dear to him, because he uses this instrument to smash the bodies of the demons and mix their blood. As mud is kneaded with water and earth, so the earthly bodies of the enemies of the Lord, or the atheists, are smashed by the club of the Lord, which becomes muddied with the blood of the demons.
Okay. Horror movie.
Wow, yeah. I read that and just realize I'm so conditioned that it's like, I haven't quite grasped the concept how even with the Lord smashing the demons with his club, it's like immense mercy.
Yeah.
It's also like, what is it when Lord Nrsimhadev is described, with the blood of Hiranyakashipu, like dripping from his claws and off his face. It's like, actually it's decoration for him. What he's done is actually, it's good, but it sounds very horrific and gory. Any other thoughts on that?
Well, there's that. So it just shows the supreme mercy of Krishna. Even the demons get liberated. Any connection to Krishna, right? So we talk about the ornaments are beautified by Krishna. Same thing. If you're inimical, of course we don't want to be that way. That's not the process that we've described to us. But even then you get liberated, but you don't get prem. And as Gaudiya Vaishnava is one of the 6 characteristics of pure devotional service is moksha laguta krit. You deride even the very idea of liberation. So even the demons are getting liberated, we still don't want that. We don't want that liberation. We just want prem seva. And it just reminds me of when Gadara Pandit goes to see Pundarik Vidyanidhi. Who takes him? Mukunda. Mukunda says, "This great sadhu has come. You should come hear from him." And then he sees Pundarik Vidyanidhi.
Well, I think Lord Chaitanya ordered Mukunda to take him.
Was that right?
Yeah.
So he goes and he sees him sitting on the silk cushions, and he's got oiled hair. He's smoking the hookah and chewing the betel nut and
being fanned.
Yeah, getting fanned. And Gadara thinks, this is the sadhu?
Staring into a mirror.
Staring into a mirror. Gadara Pandit can't understand, But to show the position, Mukunda cites that verse about how merciful is Krishna. That he gave liberation to even someone like Putana. And then Pundarik Vidyanidhi goes to ecstasy.
Putana became the mother,
the
right?
mother, what do they call it? The nursemaid. Yeah. And he goes into ecstasy for 9 hours, hearing that verse. And so this idea that Krishna is so merciful, any connection, But the sweetness is found in the real connection of becoming submissive, not wanting to fight or take Krishna's position, which is ultimately what the demons are trying to do. Trying to undermine Krishna's position. But still, even when you undermine it, he's still sweet to you. Even this blood smashing you and getting your blood out, it's like his mercy upon you. So we have to see how much of a demon's in us, because sometimes we're going to get smashed. But it's still his mercy. If we take it that way, then it's perfection.
Absolutely.
This line, the club of the Lord is very dear to him because he uses this instrument to smash the bodies of the demons and mix their blood. I just think about if this is so dear to him, if we are true instruments ourselves as we're trying to be in devotional service, how much more dear to him could we possibly be in the service? So
That's a nice point.
We must become instruments.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, sorry, you were going to say? You had something?
No, I was just, it's not nice to be smashed by the Lord.
Okay, enough philosophy. Let's be realistic.
Let's try preaching
Who
that
wants
one.
to be smashed by the Lord?
I was just dressing you and putting on your garland, and I'm like, why are you smashing me, man?
Well, yeah, see, that's an interesting. I don't know that the Lord kind of, for an atheist, I think this is an interesting point for an atheist, because you're not an atheist, because an atheist wouldn't be dressing the Lord. An atheist wouldn't be putting the garland on the Lord. So for an atheist, it's like, they can't understand. You gotta give them the sauce. But for us, if the Lord ever so slightly doesn't glance upon us in a merciful way, it feels as if he's taken a club and beat us. But he would never use his club on his devotees. He's not going to stain his club with the blood of his devotees. But for us, it feels like even if he taps us with a feather, it's like, no, the rejection, because there's actually some love there for the Lord. So if we feel that, or if he, Ashishava Padaratam Panoshtamam, even if he handles us roughly by his embrace, but that's the point. He's handling us roughly by his embrace. Someone loves you very much, they might give you a hug that's like almost like,
That's nice. Yeah, the tough love.
Tough love.
But the underscoring principle is still love.
It's still love, yeah, definitely.
It may not align with our own desires, but it's still a loving position. Also, which Lord, are we talking about? Because this is talking about Vishnu, really. For Krishna, we know Krishna does not kill the demons. He outsources
That's
them.
right.
He just likes to play.
To Vishnu, yeah.
So which Lord are we going for? Because if we're going for the sweet Krishna, Shyamasundar of Vrindavan, he doesn't have a club. He's just running around with his cows and with his friends and other places. So it's also, again...
Well, Balaram's got a club.
He does have a club. We're following Krishna.
What's that?
We're following Krishna.
It's just a show.
If he becomes it's just a show. If Krishna becomes the object of the meditation, then we don't have to worry too much about the club coming our way. And even if it comes, we're gonna feel it, like, as you said, the love is coming. What's that? The Tattenu Kampam. It's all good, Krishna. Smash me with the club. Make me a pearl around your neck.
He's saying that, yeah.
It's all good. I've been
It's from
smashed.
him.
I've been smashed.
Yeah.
I've been smashed a few times.
Krishna's. What were you saying earlier about Dayananda? Like, he's doing some art project where they're going to use the kiln to fire. There's that example. It's like when you want to mold something and make it, you have to mold it. You knead the stuff, then you put it together, and then after all of that, then you stick it in this hot oven and you fire it so it becomes
Solid.
and hard and can be used. So if we want to become instruments, well, then we got to go through the process of getting formed. Getting formed.
Yes, nice. Just like gold,
That's what it takes.
Like when you dig out gold, it's all mixed with all these impurities, and how do they purify it? You have to cook it out. You have to burn off all the impurities.
What was it? I remember once Gauranga, I think it was Gauranga Prabhu or Gaur Gopal Prabhu, it was Gauranga Prabhu who gave this class, and they were talking about, like, making a subji for Krishna, and you're the potato, right? You're the potato. So then first they take you and peel the potato off, and they chop the potato up, then they throw it in hot ghee, and it's like mix it with all kinds of other spices, and then put it on the offering tray, and you're like, now I'm ready. We thought we were ready in the original state, But actually, to be offered to Krishna, there's a lot of process that's going to be going on.
That's the question. That's the real question for all of us,
Okay.
What price am I willing to pay to get to Krishna?
Well, there you go.
Am I willing to get beaten by the club? Am I willing to get... No, truthfully, all the things that are in me that need to be beaten out, which I'm voluntarily holding on to. Am I allowing Krishna to, like, beat that out of me?
I guess I'm holding tightly to the position that Krishna doesn't beat us with the club.
He doesn't.
I don't think he does.
He definitely does not.
He may... Okay. Maybe he's trying to beat out the atheistic mentality, but somehow I guess I'm feeling like he reserves that in his Vishnu form for the atheists. But for us, it's like it probably is nowhere near as bad as it could be, and we know he's always there, and he's actually always there. There's definitely more.
Put it this way: he even outsources creation.
Yeah.
Because I'm just playing. I can't be bothered with this
That's
stuff.
right. Yeah. That's right.
But you know, the atheist is in all of us too.
Yes.
That demoniac piece is also in
That
us.
non-believer.
Yeah, because Shraddha is the real.
Ye of weak faith.
Right? Because if I have the faith, then beat me all you want. Right? Ultimately. Because I have faith. Whatever you think is the right thing. You're my maintainer. You're my protector. You never abandoned me. Of course, we shouldn't pray to be beaten. Just for all those watching online. Disclaimer. These views are my own. They don't express the views of Bhagavatam Bites.
Yes. We're holding all the beatings. Of course, who is it? Vasudev Dutt? Vasudev Dutt, who prayed for all the sins of everyone in the world to come upon him, so that they could all be freed, and he'd be willing to take it all upon himself. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Queen Kunti Devi.
Yeah.
Haridas Thakur.
Yeah. Well, actually, all of Krishna's dearest devotees. Okay, we're going to stop now before we start putting you all off of Krishna consciousness.
Be clubbed and be happy. Clubbed and be happy.
Yeah, there you go. When it first said Krishna's club, I was thinking, oh, like a club, you know, like you join a club. So you can join the club.
Here's the other thing also. In the purport we take that Prabhupada says some of it is symbolic. Right? So this is not necessarily all literal. Some parts in Bhagavatam are symbolic. They represent something. And really what it's representing here is that the sweetness Krishna has he's very sweet, but he'll also deal with you through the karmic reactions that you're due. So you have to make your choices accordingly. You know? As they surrender unto me, I reward them accordingly.
Of course, we somehow wound up focusing a lot on the club in our conversation.
It's always the most kind of gross examples that stick out.
Whereas there was so much about the bumblebees around the beautiful garland on his neck, and meditating upon the pearl necklace on the Lord's neck, which represents the pure living entities. And I just want to say that I think all of you are pure pearls on the necklace around the... Stop it!
No way.
It's true. It's so true.
Bumblebees are very special.
I think so.
Because even in the material sense, they say every third bite of food that goes in your mouth is because of a bumblebee, because they pollinate the food.
Oh, I never heard that before.
So
every third bite of food is the mercy
Without
of the
those, you
bumblebee.
wouldn't be able to. Yes.
Google that.
Google Guru.
Google is God.
Google Guru will tell you the truth. But bumblebees are also very special to us because Radharani confides in the bumblebee.
Oh, there you go. Please, final words.
No. No, I don't have anything.
Oh, there you go. She's speechless. Okay, shall we conclude?
Yeah.
Kapila Dev Ki Jai.
Okay. So what is that?
Kapila Dev Ki Jai.
Baladev Ki Jai.
Kapila Dev. Is it
Kapila Dev.
Yeah, it is Kapila.
So I'm hard of hearing. That's why
He is.
Jai Lord Kapila Dev Ki Jai. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching. Thank you both.
Yes,
Thank you.
to our special
for
guest.
joining us. And hopefully before we go, maybe we can fit another
Thanks for having us.
reading in together. Thank you for having us. Hare Krishna, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Srimad Bhagavatam. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.